So next up, at 57 kilograms, we will have the bantamweight. And for the Mexico Guerreros, it will be Sergio Chirino, who has had 3 fights in the competition so far this season and hasn't won any of them. He's lost the last 2 by split decision. And this is very difficult to pick, because everybody would imagine that he would have been fighting Magomedov, 5-1 in the regular season, but he isn't. He's in with this man now, Yashar Magomedov. And this is his season debut. Wearing a Spanish David Villa shirt as he makes his walk into the ring. There's some details on Chirino, not too many. He's just 20 years old. Bantamweight is the category he fights in, and as I mentioned, 3 fights, 3 defeats so far. Magomedov, 24 years old. And both of these two just look a little bit tense, and there's every reason why they would, because every single bout in this playoff is crucial. Enrico Licini of Italy in charge of this one. And the Guerreros will know that having got the opening point in their pocket, this is a good opportunity for Sergio Chirino to extend it to a 2-0 lead, possibly. You look at the bantamweight rankings, I've already spoken enough about Gurbanov, but Vladimir Nikitin top, Michael Conlan second, both of those 2 qualified for Rio. Quick start. Chirino with an orthodox style, keeps those gloves up quite high by the look of it. Magomedov relies more on the reflexes, lets those gloves drop, and then when he gets into punching range, just hoists them up quickly to the side of his head. It's the kind of style you see from the Astana Arlans fighters, the Baku Fires boxers as well. It's fairly typical. Out of range, or on the borderline of out of range, they like to use those feet, use those reflexes, whip up the punches from the waist where you can really get the power. It requires a lot of confidence, and Magomedov has not started like a man who hasn't boxed in the WSB yet this season. Flurry of punches, but Chirino came back with a left. And this one as well, warming up into a good fight already. Right hand just sneaked in behind the guard there, I think, of Magomedov. Does keep those gloves very tight in an almost peekaboo style at times. Just rocking back on his heels to get out of the way of that jab. Right hand, short right hand there was a good shot from Magomedov, just caught Chirino on the way in. Chirino, the slightly taller fighter, might be best advised to try and keep this a little bit more at distance and use that jab. He doesn't really pop the jab out much. Neither of these two do. Chirino with the centre of the ring, Magomedov happy just to skirt around him. Now it's a better left hand from Chirino. Is there a bit of blood just coming from the nose there of the Mexico Guerrero? Interesting opening round. Chirino just trying to use those slightly longer levers. That was a nice lead left uppercut there, a signature Mexican move really that we've seen down the years. It's a dangerous punch because if you miss with it, you're wide open, but he kept himself nice and compact. Looking for the 1-2, trying to tee that up. Magomedov just ditches in a right hand of his own, straight down the middle. Left hand from Magomedov was a good scoring shot, nod of the head there from Chirino. Cracking opening round between those two, really was. Bodes very, very well for the 4 remaining rounds. Plenty thrown by both of them in the opening 3 minutes. I just felt as the round wore on that Chirino got more into it, that maybe he established the kind of distance that suited him better. In the opening minute and a half, 2 minutes, Magomedov didn't swarm all over him exactly, and the judges are split. 2 of them have gone for Chirino, 1 for Magomedov. Wasn't an easy round to score. Magomedov, I thought, had the better of the opening half of it. Chirino dominating the second half. It was difficult to say really who landed the cleaner punches. And Chirino again just trying to work those long levers. And Magomedov not quite with such a long reach, has to get in slightly closer, and that's fine, but raiding missions might be the best way forward for Magomedov. Get in, throw a flurry of punches, get out, because if he just holds his feet and stands there, as soon as he's thrown, then he's going to get hit exactly as he was there. He likes to stay within range, Magomedov, and that's absolutely fine, but you've got to slip and block. You can't just stand straight in front of your opponent. There's not much in the way of lateral movement from him. You're just tying up that left glove of Chirino on the blind side of the referee, who eventually gets in and breaks the pair of them. That's where Chirino wants it. As he puts that left hand out there, he was just measuring the distance for the right, just to shorten it up a bit to get the maximum power in it. He doesn't really need to be any closer than that. Left to the body from Chirino. Magomedov comes back with a combination. Right hand just flung off the back foot there from Chirino. Magomedov with a flurry which brings some applause from the crowd. Magomedov almost turning his back on Chirino there. Chirino just swinging from the waist. Magomedov staying busy though, staying on his man, making Chirino work hard. The better punches have come from the Mexican in this round though. Looks to try and fire out that left hand and then just moves away to his left hand side. Gloves have dropped from Chirino. I think he's growing more and more in confidence. But really, he can just, because of that reach, stay on the outside a little bit more. Magomedov is a little bit one-dimensional. Bell goes to the end of the second round. Cuffing left hand didn't really get through cleanly. Left hand there again, just high to the head. It's not convincing from either of them. Plenty of punches thrown. That right hand sneaked through, just deflected off the glove. My feeling was that Chirino landed the better punches. An orthodox one on the back foot there. And again, let's split the judges. 2 go for Chirino. 1 goes for Magomedov. So level on 2 of the cards. And Chirino with a 2-point advantage on the other one. Magomedov nice and busy at the start of round 3. Good combination there from Chirino. Again there, just sticks out the left hand and then throws in the right. And Magomedov just coming straight in. Had no real choice other than to take it. Switches southpaw there, Magomedov, briefly. Again, looking for the 1-2. Through the 1-2 there, Chirino, and then just took a step back. And really, I think that's his best policy. He does like to set his feet as he did there and throw those short, stiff left and right hands, kind of uppercut screw punches. But he doesn't really need to be doing that, because when he does, he's in range, and if he just holds his feet for a split second too long, then Magomedov is all over him. Interesting tactical battle this. Chirino, I think, needs to try and fight his instincts. Whips up that uppercut again. Nice short right hand, but he was caught by Magomedov there. Left hand, I don't think really made too much contact. Chirino was just pulling the weight back into his heels. Nice cheeky right hand lead there from Chirino. Don't see those too often. There's the 1-2 again. It works every single time he throws it. Nice jab and then just step back onto the back foot. Good boxing that from Chirino. Good combination there from the Mexico Guerrero, and then he just stayed there. 3 punches he threw, and if he just moved his feet and got away, then that would have been job done, but he didn't. And Magomedov was able to throw a couple back of his own. Another entertaining round. Long right hand got through, but so did the left for Magomedov. That was the left hand that drew the applause from the crowd, but I don't think really that it made any meaningful kind of contact. Good power in that short punch there from Magomedov. And there it is again. And they've all gone for Chirino in that round. So he leads by a margin of 1 point on 2 of the scorecards and 3 points on the other. Chirino just missing that swinging right uppercut. Launched that left hand for right hand rather from a long way back there and was wide open as he missed with it. But Magomedov just wasn't within range. He wasn't able to do anything about it, and he's knocked down there by the right hand. It's a slip though, according to the referee. Looked to be a punch in there, I thought. And if a punch starts it and causes a slip, then it should be called a knockdown. Good left hand there from Chirino as he just swayed onto the back foot and threw that from the hip, just threw it quite wide, and the head maybe just going in a touch there from Magomedov. The referee warning him about it. You could see from the look on Chirino's face that he felt that maybe his opponent was just trying to get a little bit naughty there. And he does need to try something different, Magomedov. I wouldn't advise that because the referee will pick up on it, but he needs to change something because Chirino really has got his measure, and it's due in the main to the fact that Magomedov really just comes forward in straight lines. There's not too much he does to try and vary the point of attack. Doesn't really take a step to the side. It's all straight down the middle, which makes that kind of combination easy to throw because he knows that Magomedov is going to be in front of him. He's not going anywhere. You know that you will land. Maybe not cleanly, but you will land. Looks for the jab. Chirino has been an underused weapon for a fighter of his height. In this fight so far, you don't see too many Mexicans, though, get on the jab and keep it at range. It's just not in their DNA. The highest profile Mexican of all in action this weekend, Saul Alvarez, up against James Kirkland at light middleweight. Magomedov with a left hand two-end around. And I think his race is run, really, going into this final round. He's going to need to produce something pretty spectacular. There was that left hand on the retreat, just moving away to his left-hand side, managed still to throw it up and find the target. And that should have been given as a knockdown in my book because it was a right hand, not a particularly strong one, which caused the feet to collide with each other there. Again, some lovely boxing in that round from Chirino. Really good technique. And he's comfortably ahead now. 2-point margin on two of the scorecards. All 4 rounds given to him by Judge B. I think 40 to 36 at this stage is maybe a little bit wide. I think I would have given Magomedov probably one of those first 2 rounds. The third and the fourth have both been convincing in favour of Chirino, and this looks very much like it's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Mexico Guerreros. And Magomedov has just got to throw caution to the wind and try everything he can think of, really, against Chirino in this final round. Go out on his shield, so to speak. That was a nice right hand there from Magomedov. Saw the sweat spray off the head of Chirino. Chirino again with that combination. Right uppercut. He covers up effectively enough, Magomedov, but he never really tries to avoid punches. He just takes him on the glove, takes him on the forearms. Not easy for Chirino to get through cleanly, but it is very easy for him to find the target, and these combinations look good every single time he fires one off. They find a home. Better round this from Magomedov. He's hit Chirino with a couple of good-looking shots, but the volume of punches really coming from the Mexican once again. Good hand speed at this late stage as well there from Chirino. A long, lean kind of a fighter. That's good boxing from Chirino. Given the height advantage he's got, he can throw those punches and then just sway back onto the back foot, and he's already out of range really without even having to move his feet. Into the last 10 seconds we go. It's been another entertaining contest, this one. Had a good one on light flyweight between Joselito Velasquez and Russell Saliev, and we've had another good one here between Yashar Magomedov and Sergio Chirino. Chirino celebrates, I think he knows he's got it, and Magomedov, I think, knows he has as well. But that was a decent performance by Magomedov, making his debut this season for the Azerbaijan Baku Fires. But this is going to see Mexico open up a 2-point gap now after just the 2 bouts. And next up for them is Raul Curiel. Our MC, I think, just waiting for the official scorecard. He's got it in his hands now.
Judge 1, noted 47, 48. Judge just 47, 48. Judge Cody 46, 49. The winner is Sergio Chirino, Mexico.
Well, Chirino gets it. All 3 judges gave Magomedov that final round, but it wasn't enough. 48-47 on 2 of the cards, 49-46 on the other. 48-47 would be the score I would have gone with personally. And the Mexico Guerreros now open up that 2-point advantage